It's been a while since I last made a Sony Xperia tips and tricks video, and since Sony have made quite a lot of changes on the Xperia 1 Mark VIII,
Now yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
to show you guys what's new and what you can do, and to highlight some of the changes that you can make on the Sony Xperia to make your experience exponentially better. And if you just want to get a good look at Sony's unique phone features, I think you're going to find this interesting. So watch to the end, because by the end of this video, if you have been sleeping on the Sony Xperia 1 Mark VIII, you might decide it's time to wake up. So let's kick this off with a setting that affects an area that Sony are really masters of, but that you won't have manual control over unless you follow these steps. So we're going to jump into the settings, go to the display menu. Right at the top of the page here, you will see image quality and settings, and you will notice straight out of the box, this will be set to recommended, which is fine for most people. However, there is something you should know. There is a picture profile on this phone, which has been calibrated by professionals at Sony to closely match their legendary and Emmy award winning BVM reference monitors. And the phone will switch into this automatically for you, but you just won't know when it happens. So if you do want the best quality all of the time, you need to set this to custom and toggle on the creator mode. With this on permanently, you will be getting the highest color accuracy from all the content you watch on your phone, although not all content you watch on your phone will be color graded professionally. However, I do like this mode, and I do leave the phone in this profile all the time, because if you can't trust the colors on an Emmy award winning monitor, what colors can you trust? And while you're in this menu, if you scroll down, you'll also see this real-time HDR drive. Switch this on too. This can assess video content displayed on your phone in real time and improve the display's HDR output. Now, one of the features that a lot of people loved about the Mark VII version of this phone was the tele macro. This phone, on the surface of things, doesn't appear to have it. However, there is a little trick to bring it back. If you go into the settings, hit menu, and switch on the manual focus controls, this unlocks that tele macro feature. Now, if you do want to use that tele macro mode just like before, all you need to do is tap where it says focus auto. That switches it back into the manual mode, and then you can use the slider here, and you get the yellow focus peaking as well. And the great thing about this is that macro photography is available on all three of the cameras, and you can see how phenomenal the fine details are here.
Wow! Beautiful!
So yeah, you definitely want to switch this feature on and use it if you don't want to just rely on the autofocus. When it comes to macro photography, the results are so much better. And I do recommend actually using the telephoto as opposed to the ultra wide when it comes to this, especially because the sensor is now so much bigger behind that camera. Now, if you have used an Xperia phone before, you will be familiar with Sony SideSense. I've made the bar almost invisible, but I know exactly where it is and where to find it when I need to use it. But you might want to customize this too, and here's how you can do that. Slide out the SideSense, and at the top you will see the little settings cog in the top right corner. If you tap on that, that's a shortcut to your SideSense options. Here you have three inputs that you can customize. The inward by default is the dashboard. If you prefer this to be an app launcher, that is one of the options. Here's everything that's available, and if you really wanted to, you could actually set it to auto launch an app. I'm going to leave it on default for now because there's something else I want to show you. The flick up option can also be remapped in exactly the same way. I've got it open app launcher, and I'm going to show you how to choose which apps appear there. And then you've also got the flick down. You get the same options here. I've got it set to launch an app, and I've actually got it set to open Chrome because Chrome is one of the apps that I use the most on this phone. I would recommend you set this up with your most used app. So when you want to access that app, even if you're not on your home page, you can literally just swipe down on the sidebar to access it. Now let's go back into the settings for SideSense. At the bottom of this page, you will see SideSense customization, and this brings you to a menu that does exactly what you think it does. Something that I highly recommend you do if you do use Sony earbuds or over-ear headphones like the 1000X series is switch on the add controls. And now if you did leave the swipe inwards as the dashboard set up, you'll have quick access to your earbud controls right here from the SideSense panel. You get live battery updates on the case and the buds, and you can also choose your equalizer here. And if you tap on it, you can jump straight into the app to control the buds, but there is in fact another little hidden way to control the noise cancelling modes, which we're going to come back to in another tip. Now, before we move on from SideSense, there is another little bit of customization which I want to show you guys. So once again, let's jump into the settings for SideSense, go all the way to the SideSense customization menu. At the bottom here, you'll see select apps that use the SideSense bar and also configure the SideSense bar. So let's jump into the configure SideSense bar. Here's where you can change the length, the transparency, and even the position on the edge of the screen. I'd highly recommend you keep it higher up the screen because you don't want to be swiping it by accident. Something else you might want to do is go to the app launcher menu and add all of your favorite apps that you want pinned near the top of the SideSense menu. And you can even set up app pairs here as well. So within the multi-window menu, if you go to pair settings, you can create app pairs here, so you don't have to do it manually each and every time. And now you can access all of that very quickly whenever you swipe up on the SideSense bar, if you did map it in the same way that I did. Now, another area that Sony really specializes in is, of course, audio. So if we go into the settings again and go to sound and vibration, at the top of this page, you will see playback quality. It is set up in a similar way to the display settings, with recommended being activated straight out of the box. But you might prefer the enhanced sound quality feature, which applies Sony's DSEE Ultimate to all of the content that you consume on your phone. DSEE Ultimate, put very simply, is Sony's exclusive AI audio upscaling algorithms that's been created to do just one thing: improve lower res audio. You can also go to custom here and actually manually choose what audio processing you want for your music apps, and in a separate one for your video apps. There's also an additional hidden menu here that most people will probably never discover. If you tap on Dolby Sound, you can actually switch between the Dolby profiles that are baked into this phone. So you've got movie, music, and voice. If you do leave this on dynamic, the phone will decide based off of the content that you're playing on the phone. But if you know you're only going to be using this for movies, you can lock it in with the movie mode. But Sony do have their own version of a movie mode on this phone as well. And you can actually choose to use this instead of the Dolby feature if you prefer. It is the 360 upmix. If you go to this and switch on cinema, this will use Sony's own 360 audio upmixing software, which is actually very, very good for movies. You got to keep in mind, Sony do make movies, so they have a lot of expertise when it comes to this. And I'd suggest you try out both Dolby and this one, see which one you prefer, and then come back to the custom section and lock in your favorite sound profiles. Okay, here's a little bonus tip. This is for anyone that does use Sony earbuds or headphones. When you're using your headphones or earbuds, when you adjust the volume, you'll see the three dots at the bottom. If you tap that, you'll see these quick buttons down here at the bottom of the page that allows you to quickly switch between your noise cancelling modes. You've also got spatial audio. If you tap on this, you can very quickly switch on and off spatial audio. You can set it to fixed or head tracking without even having to go into the headphones app. And there is also the live captions button. So if you do want to caption something that doesn't have subtitles already baked in, you can just tap that and that will live caption everything that's on screen for you in an instant. Another area where Sony are absolute experts is when it comes to recording audio. And of course, there is a setting here that can improve that for you on this phone. In fact, there's a couple of settings. So if you go back into the settings and once again go back to sound and vibration, you'll see recording quality here at the top. Tap on that. Now, for some reason, this setting is off straight out of the box. If you turn this on, this will use AI to block out wind noise and stuff like that when you are recording video. If you know you're going to be in a silent room, in a silent space, I guess if you turn this off, you might get a bit better quality. But if you're shooting outdoors, you definitely want to switch this on. Just remember where to find it. And just so you know, when you are shooting videos on an Xperia phone, if you go into the video mode and then go to settings and then menu, you can actually choose which mic is used. So by default, the rear mic, the one on the camera module, will be used. But of course, there are more mics on the device. So if you do want to capture more of that ambient sound and maybe pick up more voices all around the device, you can set it to all directions. Here's another little tip that can improve video quality captured on the Xperia 1 Mark VIII. If you go into the camera app, go to the video mode, once again go to settings and menu. At the top of the page here, you'll notice by default the dynamic range will be set to standard. If you tap on this, you can actually set it to wide, and you can do this without having to go into the pro mode. So this will instantly allow you to capture better details in the highlights and the shadows without ever having to use the Pro video mode. So that's something you might want to look at. Also at the top, you can see the HDR, SDR format. So if you do want to shoot in a much higher quality, you can actually set this to HDR BT 2020. So this will be fantastic if you're planning to shoot video footage that's going to be edited professionally after the fact. So I'm sure you guys have heard about the new feature on the Xperia 1 Mark 8 is of course the AI camera assistant. It's these little windows that pop out here that allow you to apply these different color effects to the image before you even push the shutter button. Sometimes the suggestions are very good, sometimes they're not so good, and it's worth taking a look at. But if you do see one that you do happen to like the look of, but it still doesn't look quite right, what you can do is hit the little settings button over here, dial in your own color profile, so you can adjust all these little sliders and get it exactly how you want it. Once you've done that, if you hit register, this then saves this to a custom profile, which you can recall later on. So once you've set that up for yourself, what you can now do is just open up the camera app again, hit the little filter button over here, and then go to custom, and that will recall your custom color profile. So of course, Sony's camera button is specifically designed for camera functionality and snapping photos and half pushing to focus, but you can actually make use of this in another way without overriding the default camera shortcut settings. So if you go into your settings menu again, and this time go to the system menu right here, and then gestures, right at the top of the page here, you'll see the shutter button. So if you tap on this, here you can switch on take a screenshot. So when you push and hold the shutter button, it jumps into the camera app, and when you tap it quickly, it grabs a screenshot. So this phone has been designed to be a creator tool, and there is a really nice exclusive Xperia feature here. So what I'm going to do now is just film a few shots with the phone and talk very quickly about this, the VIII Pocket Pro Plus, a brand new device from Sony. It's a very interesting one. So let me just film that real quick and show you how this works. Okay, now that I've filmed a few clips for a short video about the VIII Pocket Pro Plus, what I can do now is open up Sony's exclusive video creator app, go to new project, and choose all of the clips that I just recorded. So once you've selected all the clips you want to use, if you want to add just some generic music in the background, you can do that by hitting auto edit down here, and then you can choose the track that you want to use from Sony's catalog. However, if you just want the audio that you've captured, you have to go to custom edit. This will add it all onto a timeline, and you can go through the clips and manually tap on the individual clips and resize them, so you can cut out all the mistakes and things like that. And then at the bottom of this page, you'll notice there's a bunch of different tools, including the speed of each clip. You can actually change volume, add filters, adjust the colors and the position and all that good stuff. The auto edit is fantastic, but it would be better if it would use the recording audio as opposed to overlaying music. Anyway, it's a decent little tool for creating some short content. Okay, here is another area that Sony specializes in. It is of course gaming. So if you open up Sony's Game Enhancer, launch a game, there's a couple of interesting options here that you need to know about. So the Game Enhancer appears like this by default, the little round circle. When you tap on this, this brings up all your Game Enhancer options. So here, if you tap on game mode, this takes you to the more advanced menu. You can choose between battery, balanced, and performance. Performance obviously being the highest quality setting. However, you might notice in performance mode, VRR is switched off. So if you do want to make use of VRR, here's how you can do that. Tap on custom at the top, and now you can switch this on. You can even match all of the other settings with the performance mode here if you want. Something else that's available here, but only when you plug in the cable, is this. In the same menu, if you scroll down with a cable attached to the phone, you can enable HS power pass-through or power control. This allows the power supply to keep the phone running, but without charging the battery. And in doing so, it will keep the phone cooler for longer. And there is one more setting here that I recommend you switch on straight away, and it is this one, release RAM. If you are going to be using the custom mode, that's a good little option right there. Okay, so those are the exclusive Sony tips and tricks. Now let's get into some of the stuff that I highly recommend you do on day one. And this is coming from someone who's been using this phone for quite a while now. So first thing to do is go into your settings and then go to system and then go into gestures. At the top, you will see double press power button. When you first get this phone, it will be set to camera, which is kind of pointless because you've got a dedicated camera button on the side. You can also map a shortcut to your home screen. So I immediately recommend switching this to wallet, and even more so if you're coming over from an iPhone, because That's how it works on iPhone. Double tap to access the wallet. Here's another little setting to change on day one. Back into settings, back to systems and gestures. On this page, if you go all the way to the bottom, you'll see this feature right here, smart call handling. Switch this on. This unlocks a few new gestures. So when your phone is ringing, you can just bring it up to your ear and it will answer. If your phone is ringing and you don't want to pick it up, you can just turn it face down and it will mute that call. And if there's someone calling you who you don't want to speak to, you can just shake the phone and it will cancel that call. Now, I know you Xperia fans will be familiar with this, but there was a time where Sony had its own photo gallery app. Now they use Google Photos, which is good because it keeps everything backed up and there's some nice editing tools and things in there. However, if you have multiple devices and you capture photos and videos on those devices, you might find that they all kind of merge into this one app. So let me show you a quick way you can access your photos and videos that you've captured specifically on this device. The best way to do this, in my opinion, is this. Bring down your quick settings, hit the little pen here to modify your quick settings. And what you want to do is find the storage files by Google and drag this up to your quick settings. Now, if you don't want to have to dig around in the Google Photos app, you can just bring down your quick settings, go to the files by Google, and yeah, you can access everything here locally on your device. So you've got your images, videos, all that good stuff. I do kind of wish Sony would bring back their gallery though. Since we're on the topic of storage, there is of course the expandable SD card slot on this phone. On the SIM tray, you can expand up to 2 terabytes with this. And if you are planning to do this, there's a couple of things you need to know. First of all, you need a specific type of SD card if you're going to be shooting 4K 120 and HDR and all that stuff, because those formats take up much more space and you do need a certain speed in order to do it. And once you have put an SD card in the phone, this is what you need to do. Go to the photo app, go to settings, and then go to menu, scroll down, and here you'll see the data storage option. So you need to switch this to SD card, and it will tell you at the top that you need a V30 or above if you do want to shoot these specific formats. And I will link the one that I use in the description if you want a shortcut to pick one up. Here's another setting that you could easily miss because it's not really labeled how you would expect. I am of course talking about the always on display. To find it, you need to go to settings, wallpaper and style, then more lock screen settings. I do recommend you spend a little bit of time on this page looking at the different options, but the always on display setting is right here under when to show. So you can set it to always show time and info. That's how you activate the Xperia's always on display. Here's a useful feature that you should be aware of if you do get this phone. It is a Google feature, not exclusive to Sony, but within Chrome, let's say you found a website you want to check out, but you haven't got time because you need to make your way to work or something like that. Open up the web page, hit the 3 dots in the top right corner, and you'll find a feature here called Listen to Page. This allows you to background play the audio version of the web page.
They're crafted with hand-polished metal accents.
And what's great about this is you can lock the screen and it will continue to play, and you can see that it's playing right here on the AOD.
These headphones offer enhanced bass and clarity.
And you do get the media controls once you wake up the screen. And here's a little pro tip if you're the type of person who always forgets passwords. If you go into the settings, again, for the last time, at the top go to Google. Here, if you go to the password manager and then hit the settings at the bottom, then scroll down on this page until you see this add shortcut to home screen. It will appear like this, add it to home screen. Now you've got an app icon that will take you very quickly to all your passwords. If this video was useful, do let me know in the comments. If you want to check out Sony's very unique Reon Pocket Pro Plus, that thumbnail is on screen right now. If you want to check out Sony's latest and greatest noise cancelling headphones, the 1000X collection, that thumbnail is also on screen. And if you just subscribed, you're now one of the finest subscribers known to man. And if you just did that, well, there's only one thing left that I need you to do.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Appreciate you guys for watching this one. See you in the next one. Don't be late.